Just leaving Round Fork Shelter. We're headed down. Well, since we last were on video, we stayed the night, of course, at Cheoah Bald, and storm come through, and no lightning or anything, but we had a lot of wind, and it rained all night, and then it was raining pretty heavy when we were trying to break everything down this morning, so that's never good. We were all pretty wet, and gear was wet, and got down out of there, and a lot of downhills and some uphills again. We got down to Stokoe Gap, which is there's a highway there, and a couple picnic tables for people, and at that point Josh and Levi and Garrett could not continue. They were just absolutely done, and I think that they were concerned about what lied ahead. They were concerned about Jacob's Ladder, which is a notorious uphill, and so I hated to do it. I hated it for them, but they wanted to. They were insistent when they were done. They could not go any farther. I was willing to try to, work them along, but they were just insistent that they had had enough. So they were going to get a ride to Fontana Dam. Hopefully they did get picked up, and they're going to just try to set up camp there. Hopefully they can find the Fontana Hilton, which is a shelter that sleeps 14 or 16, and it's a nice facility, really nice. It's probably the nicest one anywhere on the AT. So me and Amanda pressed on. Pretty good uphill, and then we got to Jacob's Ladder, and I felt like we kicked his ass. It was pretty rough, but we made it, and decided to take the Blue Blaze Trail off to the shelter up here and fill up on water and eat a little bit. Amanda really didn't eat much. I didn't eat a lot. It's just kind of crazy, I always end up bringing too much food. I just don't, and I don't know why. If it's just me, or if different hikers have issues with this, especially when they first start, that they have trouble with their food intake. I've heard through hikers say, they might get several weeks into it, and then it kicks in, and they just start really having an appetite. But we haven't had an appetite. I got a lot of food left. It was raining when we left camp. It was raining pretty good, and of course now it's still overcast, but it's turned out to be, right now this is not bad. The temperature is not real warm. Of course, it's going to get a little bit humid here. Up until now, and of course, I think even for a while longer, we're not going to really have much to see as far as views. Mainly because of the overcast conditions and everything. Now I look to my left and I see blue skies, but yet it's, there's a lot of moisture rising up from the mountains, and you just can't, it's not as clear as it was yesterday by far. I'm hoping that the weather holds off on us like it is here. I'm sure that there might be some afternoon storms fire back up. It's hard to say. I haven't checked the weather. the other guys, as much as I showed them the maps and talked about it and everything, they just had no idea what the AT is all about. I know that they, some of them go hiking and they go to Turkey Run or Shades Park or whatever, and it's nothing like that. I mean, it's beautiful out here, though. I hope that they had an opportunity to appreciate that. I myself, I'm not feeling too bad. Coming, Amanda? Okay. I'm not feeling too bad. A little sore. I wish I could push out a few more miles today. There's not another shelter until from where we're going to stay at Cable Gap. There's not another shelter till you get down to the Fontana Hilton, and I just don't know if we can push out another 5 miles. We'd be looking at doing probably close to 19 miles today, and I just don't know if we got that in us. I mean, I think that I do. Of course, I'm not there yet. Fresh trail legs. This is my first hike since September, and this section it's a little bit gnarly. The big climb up out of the NOC Center, basically, for the most part, continuous uphill for about 8 miles. When we got to the first shelter after 7 miles, I had to go back about half a mile because I got concerned. I did not, Josh and Garrett had not shown up, and we sat there for 25 minutes or more, and I decided I'm going back. So I pulled my pack and went back, and I found them. They were on their way, but they were Garrett especially was struggling, and as bad as I think at least one of them didn't want to do it, I asked them to push to Chioa Bald, which is another mile or so, and it was an uphill, and he gutted it out, and I'm glad that they got to see the views from there. I wish we would have had, when it had all the rain, that spoiled it for this morning, but the views are really neat from up there. It's a really nice place to camp. So we've met several people today. There was a hiker that went past us that had stayed the night at the shelter that was just prior to Chioa Bald, and he was pushing out. He was pushing all the way to Fontana, so he was doing a 20-mile day. It was at least 20 miles, probably. And then I know we've got some hikers behind us. There were some. I know we got 4 guys ahead of us. We've met some people going the opposite way. I think they're on probably. Some of them might have been on day hikes. Some of them maybe an overnight. We did see one couple that were through hikers, and they started on May the 4th, so they hadn't done too bad for 12 days actually. I mean, they were a married couple that they had did the through hike in 2007, and they were going to try to see how far they could go this year, but they met on the trail and ended up marrying. I think that it's always really surprising that you see some of the people that you expect when you get 2 years on you. You're not as outdoorsy, or you don't get out and exercise as much. But we saw 2 women this morning that were going up the trail, and they were older than me, and they were just plugging away. And I think that's that's a real shock to some of these young people that see them on the trail. But you know, they hike all the time. They're out here, so they're used to it. I wish that when I'm out hiking, you know, I wish, you know, I could do a through hike. I just can't. But it's a killer to come back after doing a section hike and you've been off it for a while, and then restart it all because you've lost your legs, so to speak. Amanda's done really well. I think the three guys that was with me, I think they kind of commented that she's some kind of a different hybrid person. She was getting out in front of us and she was going. But you know, these guys are I consider them to be actually, you know, muscular wise, they're in a lot better shape than me. But I think that can be almost a hindrance because of the fact that you have such muscle mass, and it's just more, it takes more energy to feed the muscles. You know, I'm a light guy, weighing in at about 155 or whatever, and I don't know, I just, you know, a lot of this too, I mean, it is physical. Don't think it isn't physical at all, but